When I was younger, I thought I was an introvert. I was shy, I was awkward, and I couldn't speak correctly because I would stutter every time I spoke. Whenever I had a conversation with somebody, it would go stale. And whenever I tried to approach that attractive girl, I would stutter whenever I spoke, and that would push her away. And before self-improvement, I would think that couldn't change. I thought that I was an introvert, which meant I would always be shy, I would always stutter, I would be quiet, and I just couldn't speak well. But now, I overcame that barrier. Although I still get drained by speaking to other people, I'm able to speak coherently, like in this video. So if you're in that place right now where you think you can't change, where you always stutter, you can't articulate your words correctly or speak on the spot, and you feel awkward, then here's what you can do that I did to speak better and overcome your introvertness. The first thing that I did was I practiced more. And what that means is that I practiced speaking to other people. I started this YouTube channel for me to practice my speaking as well. You can look back 3 years ago when I started my vlogs and I started these sit-down videos. You could see how I spoke back then. I honestly didn't speak as well as I did. You can go back and watch my first video and see how I speak today.
But yeah, I hope you like this video. More videos will be coming out.
But anyways, I took my introvert label to heart, and I didn't think I could change it. But then I started to hear that other introverts were able to speak well to other people, give good speeches, but still feel drained afterwards. So that's when I thought, what were they doing to speak well, to have great conversations, even though they're an introvert? So I started this channel to help me speak better. And although my health was on point, my social skills weren't. They were lacking. I couldn't speak coherently. I couldn't speak on the spot because I like to practice beforehand and then speak. If I found an attractive woman, how would I be able to come up to her and speak on the spot like that? Even a few months ago, these type of videos would be scripted. I would read line by line, and I felt that I was lacking my ability to speak on the spot. So that's why I have bullet points here, but most of the time here, I'm freestyling what I'm saying. It's mostly unscripted. And that allows me to practice the way I speak and how I can articulate my own thoughts and words. And the great part of having a YouTube channel, or at least recording yourself speaking, is that you can review it and see what you can fix. Maybe I need to fix my pronunciation, my timing, my pauses, the way I speak, the tonality. So if you are trying to practice your speaking more, then I suggest you to start a YouTube channel or go out on the streets and have random conversations with other people where you don't know what you're gonna say. And when you get there, speak on the spot, pronounce your words correctly, and speak slowly. Alright, the second thing that I did was I went outside of my comfort zone and became a waiter and a bartender. Before my waiter and bartender job, all I did was be a food runner, which meant I would run food to tables and I would have to interact with the customers with minimum effort. And whenever I had to interact with them, it was honestly awkward for me. I don't know what to say. I was quiet. It was a loud environment. They wouldn't really hear me. And it was just so awkward. I would stutter. I didn't know what to say. I would freeze. And I would just go. Whenever I had to talk to them, I also felt judged because I didn't have experience being in this field and talking to new people. And when I started my waiter and bartending job, I wasn't great at talking at first. I would do my introduction like, "Hi, my name is Kensei. I'll be taking care of you tonight," really quietly, and sometimes I would stutter at my words. I wouldn't speak with confidence. But the more I did it, the more I said my introduction, the more I interacted with new people, the better I got. So I'm honestly thankful that I was able to be in this environment that forced me to practice and improve my speaking abilities. If I wasn't in this environment, I probably wouldn't change. And this also occurred when I started my YouTube channel, so my ability to speak started to exponentially get better. As I interacted with more people, the more comfortable I got. And since you're a waiter and a bartender, you sometimes have to freestyle what you're going to say to them. And now, I don't care about the judgment that I get by the way I speak. So if you're trying to improve, put yourself in an environment that forces you to improve your speaking, like being in a restaurant or being in customer service. Alright, the last thing that I did was I listened to podcasts and YouTube videos. When I first wanted to improve my speaking, I didn't have a frame of reference. Like, how do I improve my speaking if I can't compare myself to something that's great? So I started to listen to podcasts who can speak well, like Chris Williamson on Modern Wisdom. And I would study him and see, okay, this is how he articulates his thoughts. This is the way he speaks. He has his pauses. He speaks slowly sometimes. And the whole conversation becomes smooth. He doesn't stutter. He doesn't add that many filler words. And once I studied that, I start to pick those up and emulate it into my day-to-day speaking. And even in this channel, I start to nitpick things that I see that I want to emulate, and I practice it in my videos, in my conversations. If I didn't look at podcasts or YouTube videos, I honestly would have thought that pauses were bad and that were awkward. But pauses add meaning to the thing that you're going to say. So if you're trying to improve the way you speak, find someone to emulate from. Find multiple people to emulate your speaking. And the more you do it, the more you emulate something, the more experience you get, then you can start to craft your own way of speaking, whatever that is comfortable to you. Personally, for me, I'm still trying to figure out the way I speak because I didn't speak as much as I did when I was a kid. I was always a silent kid who was shy, who was awkward, who would stutter. So now I'm trying to catch up by speaking a lot more and making these videos because I lacked the experience back then because I wouldn't speak. So since now I have to speak a lot more, I have to force myself and practice a lot more to catch up to other people who were loud as a kid, who were speaking so much. So if you're in this rut now where you're shy, you're awkward, you stutter whenever you try to talk to this attractive woman, practice the way you speak. Go up to strangers, film yourself the way you speak, practice it, review it, practice again, fix whatever you need to fix. Put yourself in environments that force you to improve your speaking, like customer service. Find a mentor or someone that you can look up to so you can emulate what they're doing, so you can implement it into your speaking abilities. Alright bro, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, my name is Kensei. I post twice a week with this type of content. So if you're cool with that, subscribe right here. And guess what? YouTube recommends you this video next. Alright bro, like I always say, remember to go improve it.